Vasilis Panoulis.
Vasily is, you know, I'm not the first person or the last that will tell you is one of the true greats in the history of the EuroLeague and of European basketball and certainly of basketball in Greece. But I don't want people to forget why he is those things. You know, It's not because they call him Spanoulis. It's because of the work that he does every day and the commitment to excellence that he has always had and the type of work ethic and perfectionism that he displays on a daily basis. And you don't know that until you actually work with him every day. You know, and I think that's it's so admirable and so appreciated by coaches and, you know, people like me that understand that things don't happen without a reason. You know, he's done everything that he's done for a reason, not just because he's talented, which he is, obviously. But that's not the whole story. You know, a lot more that goes into it.
What about the other old mate, Giorgos Printezis?
You know, I think that Giorgos is a guy that understood and has understood that he has to constantly develop and grow and improve. You know, generally, someone at Giorgos' stage of his career or age, you know, generally they're going down.
Yeah.
He just seems to go up every year. You know, and there's that thing is so unusual and is so valuable.
Yeah.
But it comes from something. Again, you know, in that respect, he and Billy are so similar. You know, they simply dedicate themselves to their craft, and they're professionals to the max, and they do that on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So when you combine that with the kind of skill and the kind of competitiveness and the kind of ambition that they have, then, you know, you get great, long-lasting historical players, and that's what George is, and that's why he is where he is.
Last one for Olympiacos, Angelopoulos brothers.
Well, you know, I so much appreciate people who have a passion for something that's more than just the game itself. It's about the right way of doing things. It's about the character and the personality and DNA, creating the character, personality, and DNA of the organization that they run and that they're responsible for. It's about their ability to create an environment without having to tell everyone what to do, but rather by showing you the way that things should be and are done, and helping you to understand that you're a part of that and you need to be representative of an ethic and of a type of organization that they run and that they want others to follow.
The young blood, Amir Blatt, the young blood.
Well, you know, it's very difficult for me to be objective about him because he's my son and I love him. But I can only tell you that he just turned 21, and what I've seen from him already in what's now his fourth season in, you know, the professional league, and certainly what he's done in all his national teams, including being a starter for the Israeli national team, you know, is very, you know, it's very exciting and it's very pleasurable for me to see. But you know, I see in a lot of guys like Zizis and Spanoulis and Printezis, I see a lot of things that I see in him.
Yeah.
You know, and that
quality out of the court
right,
as well.
yeah, quality that goes beyond just, you know, shooting the ball or passing the ball. You know, it's about the type of people that you are and what you represent inside of the sport. You know, and that's nice to see. And I just hope he stays healthy and continues to grow and reaches his full potential, whatever that may be.
Do you think that he can end his professional race as one of the greatest guards of Israeli basketball history?
Well, I don't know that. You know, time will tell that. But I do know that he has a chance to be the best version of himself.
Yeah.
And if he does that, whatever that means, I'll be happy and proud of him.
And very few from the NBA. A word about the Greek Freak.
You know, I coached against Giannis. I never worked with him, and I never, you know, actually saw him when he was here in Greece. But I can tell you that he is representing both himself and his family and Greek basketball in the best possible way. You know, and he's become one of NBA's true stars, and it's a very positive thing because he's got such a nice way about him, and it's such a positive image. In terms of how he goes about his business and how he plays and what he brings to the floor every night and what he brings to his community and what's going on around the game. You know, I just think it's great, and I'm happy for him because he's, you know, the little that I've interacted with him, I can just tell you he's really a good kid.
LeBron James, of course.
Well, you know, LeBron is an iconic figure. You know, he's one of the true greats of basketball all time. You know, and you cannot deny his place in the game now and forever, and you certainly have to appreciate what he's been able to do in his career.
Can you explain, you know, the fact, you told that before for other players, that, you know, age by age, he's getting older, but he's developing the dimensions of his game, or it's our sense?
I think he has understood that he has to do that, you know. And this also is a sign of greatness when you recognize what your strengths and weaknesses are, what you have to improve, where perhaps you know and understand you can do less, and what you may have to do more.
Yeah.
And to continue to grow in the game and be an impactful, successful player. And you know, I think he has a very good understanding and feel for that.
Yeah, and another thing that, you know, impresses us from the journalism perspective, that we used to hear all the time, you know, that Coach Blatt had a bad relationship with him, like a fact, but we never have heard something concrete.
No, I don't.
So maybe it's guessing.
I just don't think that's true. I don't think we had a bad relationship.
Yeah, you know, we were hearing that airways.
I think it's very, today in today's world and in today's media, there's nothing more important than the narrative. But just so you all understand, the narrative isn't always correct.
Yeah.
And we can move on from that.
Yeah. Right. Kyrie Irving.
Kai was a lot of fun to coach.
Yeah.
And he's a brilliant player. You know, I think that he took a very courageous decision to leave Cleveland, because he strongly wanted to have a major role on a team as the team leader. I just hope for him that he can stay healthy, because I think if Kyrie is healthy, there's no stopping him.
Yeah, but maybe you say that because you're a Boston fan, as we know.
Well, I was a Boston fan. I grew up in Boston. I listened to the Boston Celtics on the radio with the great Johnny Most commentating. My idols as a kid were Boston Celtics players, particularly Bill Russell, who won 11 championships in 13 years. And, I definitely was a big fan. But when you're a child, you play with childish things, and when you grow older, you put those childish things away and seek out your own career.
Yeah, and the last one that maybe has a funny part, because you have coached him. When J.R. Smith made that decision at the end of the first final of the NBA Finals, because you have coached him, what's the first thought that come through your mind? Do you think that he didn't see the time, or can you guess what J.R. had in his mind?
Because let me put it in context. I wanted J.R. Smith my first year in Cleveland. We had started the season not well, and we needed help.
Exactly.
And we had a number of different options, and one of the names that came up was J.R. Smith. And I told our GM, who ultimately made the decision, but I had my input, that I wanted him, that I believed that we could really gain from having him on our team, and I'm happy to say that I was right, because he was great for me, and he was great for us. But sometimes things from your past can drag you down, or can affect you even in the future. This particular situation, I wasn't there, so I hate to make a specific comment about it. I can only tell you he didn't do it on purpose. He thought something, and unfortunately his thought was wrong.
Yeah. After all, he got the rebound, so he.
Yeah, he went and got the ball. That's something too. Maybe if they get the ball, they go down the other end and score it right away or something like that. But all I can tell you is that JR's heart is in the right place. Just he made a mistake, and people make mistakes, and that's part of being human.
Yeah. And the last question of our today's interview: when you signed to Olympiacos, and you start feeling like a member of the Reds, what was your first thought for your biggest dream? Let me put it in that way: when you leave one day, what do you want to have achieved with that club?
Well, I want people to be happy with our team, and to be proud of our team. And what it takes, whatever it is that will bring that about, that's what I want.